After my grandparents died, I inherited $26 million, and my parents called me a thief. They said the money was never mine, that I had to do the right thing and hand it over to them. My own father looked me dead in the eye and said, "Alexis, you didn't earn a dime of this. That money belongs to the family, not you." They had no idea what I'd been through to earn my grandparents' trust. No idea about the nights I slept in hospital chairs, the bills I paid when they turned their backs, or the sacrifices I made when everyone else disappeared. And now, the same people who mocked me for being broke suddenly wanted to claim everything. Before I reveal what happened when I refused, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this story. Because trust me, you won't believe the twist that's coming. I looked around the living room. Every face that once ignored my calls was now pretending to care. My mom reached out, her voice soft and fake. "Sweetheart, think about us. We raised you. Don't you think you owe us something?" My heart pounded. Was this really about family or greed? My brother Ethan slammed his fist on the table. "If you don't give us that money, don't ever call us family again." His words hit hard, but before I could answer, my father leaned forward with a smile that made my stomach turn. "You think you're smart, Alexis? Remember, we know everything about you. Everything." And then, he pulled out an envelope. My breath caught. Inside was something that could destroy me. Or them. What was in that envelope? And why did my father look so confident? He slid the envelope across the table slowly, like he was savoring the moment. "Go ahead, open it," my dad said with a smirk. My hand shook as I tore it open, expecting something about me. But what I saw made my jaw drop. It was a contract, a power of attorney document, with my name forged on it. According to this, I had agreed to let them handle all my finances after my grandparents' death. My mother leaned back, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. "See, honey? We were just trying to protect you. You're too young to handle that kind of money." Too young? I was 28. I'd worked 3 jobs to keep myself afloat while they went on vacations and bought luxury cars. And now they thought a fake signature could take everything from me? "Where did you get this?" I asked, my voice low. My father smirked. Again. "Does it matter? The lawyer will confirm it's legit." He pulled out his phone and started dialing. That's when it hit me. They weren't just threatening me. They had a plan to make it legal. Before I could respond, Ethan leaned in, his tone sharp. "Listen, Alexis. Sign the real papers and avoid the drama. Give us the money, and we'll forget this ever happened." My blood boiled. Forget? They wanted me erased, controlled like a child. But what they didn't know was I had something they could never fake, something that could destroy every single one of them in seconds. My grandparents' real will, locked in a place no one could touch. And the name written in bold letters? Mine. But before I could speak, the lawyer walked in. And the first words out of his mouth turned the entire room upside down. The lawyer walked in with a leather briefcase, looking calm, but his eyes flickered with tension. My dad stood up, shaking his hand like they were old friends. "Thanks for coming on such short notice," he said, throwing me a smug look. I stayed quiet, clutching the fake contract in my hand. The lawyer placed a stack of papers on the table and cleared his throat. "Before we discuss anything, I need to verify one thing." He opened his folder, pulled out an official-looking document, and read aloud. "As per the will of Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, all assets, properties, and liquid funds amounting to $26 million are to be transferred solely to their granddaughter, Alexis Thompson." The room froze. My mom's smile cracked. My father's jaw tightened. Ethan muttered, That can't be right." The lawyer continued. "Furthermore, this distribution is final and legally binding. No third party, including family members, can claim or interfere. I couldn't stop the small smile forming on my face. My parents' confidence was crumbling. But then, the lawyer looked straight at me, his tone changing. However, there's one more clause. My heartbeat spiked. My father leaned forward eagerly. What clause? The lawyer hesitated. If Alexis fails to meet one condition, the inheritance will be void, and the entire amount will be donated to charity. The air turned heavy. My mother clutched her pearls. What condition? She demanded. The lawyer's next words left everyone speechless. Alexis must prove that her parents never manipulated her financially after turning 21. If any proof of coercion or fraud is found, the estate is forfeited. My father's smirk returned instantly. Well, looks like things just got interesting. He slowly tapped the forged contract lying on the table, and then he said something that made my stomach twist. Alexis, if I were you, I'd start packing. You're about to lose everything. But what he didn't know? I had a recording that could turn this entire game upside down. I slipped my hand into my bag and felt the tiny voice recorder my grandparents had given me years ago. My father had no idea it still existed, or what it held. As they smirked and whispered about their next move, I hit play. Suddenly, the room filled with their own voices. Alexis will sign the paper. She owes us everything, my dad's voice boomed. Then my mom's words followed like poison. If she refuses, we'll make her look ungrateful in front of the whole family. Ethan cursed under his breath, his face draining of color. The lawyer froze, eyes wide, and then slowly turned toward them. Is this your voices? He asked, his tone sharp. My father tried to laugh it off. This proves nothing. Anyone can fake audio. But the lawyer wasn't buying it. He reached for the recorder and examined the timestamp. This is dated last week. You do realize tampering with inheritance is a felony? My mom's hands shook as she grabbed Ethan's arm. David, say something. He slammed his fist on the table. You think this little trick will save you, Alexis? We'll fight this in court. We'll drag your name through the mud. I leaned forward, calm and steady. Do that, and I'll release this recording to every family member, your church, and your boss. Let's see who you drag down first. For the first time, they went silent. The power shifted, and they knew it. But I wasn't done. I stood, looked each of them in the eye, and said, You wanted everything from me. Now you're about to lose everything. And then I dropped the final bomb. Because I'm not just keeping the money. I own the house you live in. The papers are already signed. The lawyer confirmed it with a nod. Their faces turned pale as reality hit. But just when I thought the war was over, Ethan pulled out his phone, and what he showed me made my heart stop. On the screen was a photo of me, with someone I prayed they'd never know about. My stomach sank when I saw the photo. On Ethan's phone, it was me, smiling, holding hands with a man I hadn't seen in years. A man whose name could burn everything to the ground. Mason Grant. Mason wasn't just an old friend. He was the whistleblower who helped take down $1 billion corporation and the guy I once dated in secret. If that photo leaked, the media would swarm, and people would dig into Mason's past, and mine. My inheritance, my business deals, my quiet life, gone in an instant. Ethan grinned like a wolf. Imagine what happens when the world finds out you're connected to him. Blackmail, espionage, headlines will eat this up. For a second, fear clawed at me. Then, I laughed. The sound startled everyone. You think that's a threat? You just showed me how desperate you are. I pulled out my phone and dialed a number I knew by heart. Mason's voice came through, calm and sharp as ever. Alexis, you good? I put the call on speaker. Not yet, but I will be in about 10 seconds. Mason chuckled. Still cleaning? Up family messes? Before Ethan could react, Mason continued. Funny thing, I own the servers where that photo's stored, and the account it came from, already deleted, so nice try, champ. Ethan's face turned ghost white. My parents sat frozen, realizing their last weapon had just vanished. I ended the call, looked at them one last time and said, "Game over. I don't need your love. I don't need your approval. And from now on, you don't get a single cent." I walked out, the lawyer trailing behind me to finalize everything. As I stepped outside, the weight of years of humiliation lifted. I wasn't the broke, desperate daughter anymore. I was the woman who turned betrayal into power. And the best part? This wasn't revenge, this was justice. Because sometimes the sweetest payback is living a life they can only dream of,